All right. So, we've come to the conclusion that we're starting a YouTube page. Don't know why. There's a lot of grad parties going on over there.
Is that Will Lutz's house? The grad party?
To begin, my name's Dante.
My name's Joe.
The people who are going to be listening to this are probably mostly local, but if we go worldwide and international worldwide, we will say where we're from. I'm from St. Paul, I guess, West St. Paul area, Minnesota.
Mendota Heights.
It shows from
Mendota.
The Heights of Mendota. We're just basically doing we figured a name for it would be kind of funny just to do like car chronicles. We're en route to work right now.
Hill and Garden Inn, by the way. Shout out downtown Minneapolis. 1101 4th Avenue South.
So we work at the Hilton in Minneapolis, right off 35W. 35W.
It's going to be closed for quite some time.
Yeah, it'll be closed because of Minnesota winters. But we figured we'd do like sports talks, just kind of be silly and mess around. Figured it'd be kind of fun to do, kind of barstool-esque, except 10 times better and more racially diverse, I guess. So today we're just going to kind of talk about on our way to work. Figured like a few good topics would be like the Twins, since both of us being Twins fans. Some NFL news like scandals, Jameis, and then just what we think the seedings and playoff pictures and games will look like for more specifically the Bears, because Joe's a Bears fan and I'm a Vikings fan, so we'll talk about the Vikes. And then LeBron, obviously, free agency coming up on the 1st of July, so we figured that'd be a funny topic to talk about. So we'll start with the Twins, considering he was listening to the game right now. What do we think about the Twins so far this season, just as an overall, I guess, if you will, as their performances go? And you can choose particular players that you kind of want to talk about.
Yeah. Currently looking at the standings, the Twins are 7 below 500 at the 33-40 mark. First thing that stands out to me is the big thing in free agency this year for the Twins was to get pitching like it is every year. It seems like since Johan Santana and Francisco Liriano were in the rotation, that the Twins just haven't had anything really to write off about as far as ace or any solidified winner. Yeah. So this free agency, the Twins definitely tried to take a step forward in getting some decent pitchers, but that's kind of been the problem when the pitching is not on, the hitting kind of seems to follow the leader. So Twins are kind of losing in that fashion right now, in my opinion. A lot of 8-1s, 10-3s, etc. And just inconsistency is kind of killing them right now.
I'd agree. I played college baseball, but I don't pay attention, I guess, if you will, as much as Joe might, and he keeps up with the analytics and who's doing what and who's making moves. But yeah, this offseason the Twins made some moves. They got Lance Lynn, Brios came back, obviously, but kind of sucked as well because Irvin got hurt, Irvin Santana, and then we had a PEDs thing with Jorge Polanco, him not being a pitcher, but him being our starting shortstop for most of the year last year. Just been kind of up and down, kind of the most baseball season you'll probably ever see, just because baseball's such an up and down sport. I don't know. I think that the future is bright, somewhat, for the Twins. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. Me and Joe talk about this all the time, but I mean, we have Buxton still. He's really struggling, and he's been hurt too. But he's still, like, there's still an upside to him. He's only 23, 22,
something like that.
23. Yeah. And we have Kepler, and then Rosario is the big guy that I said earlier this year, and he will vouch for me on this one. I said he'll be an all-star this year, and if he's not, he has what, 17 home runs right now.
Yeah, 17,
batting
like
300.
Oh yeah, he's at like 317.
Yeah,
at the start of the day.
So if he doesn't make the All-Star team, I'll be surprised. But we'll see how it goes. We'll have to get a wild card spot if we do get in, we'll have to win the division if we do get in, because the wild card spot is.
Speaking of which, we had a guy, just off the record, we had a guy at work maybe a week ago. Don't remember his name, so I'm not going to put him on the spot. First of all, he went to Cretin, not Cretin-Derham Hall, because that was not a thing at the time, and he was pretty upset that the two schools merged, but they tore down both schools and created the Paul Mulder, Joe Mauer, Chantrell Henderson, Matt Burt,
Chris Winke,
Floyd, Michael Floyd. Kind of the dynamic.
I was gonna say someone really off the chart, like not an athlete,
like John Nance,
Pat Krieger, or no, like Paige Krieger.
Oh yeah, my mom. Yep. Anyway, he was talking about how Joe Mauer of the Minnesota Twins right now should not get a farewell tour, as his retirement seems to be up on the back nine, that he's going to approach it really quick here. And if you're from Minnesota and you're listening to this, you'll understand how absolutely stupid that sounds. Or at least in my opinion. Like you all might disagree, but
it's frustrating.
Right. Batting champion, MVP, career over 300.
Yeah. Not as many hits as you would think, but still.
Right. And I mean, not to justify any of his career, but from what I remember, in his first 8 years, a couple of them he was not playing half the year. Like in a perfect world, Joe Mauer is a 3,000 hit guy.
Yeah.
Just based off how good he is at the plate fundamentally.
Good.
But obviously, him being a catcher coming into the league, injuries are going to happen. If he would have came into the league as a first baseman, I honestly think hitting-wise would be a little bit more standoutish. But even this guy looked at Joe Mauer as Joe Mauer the catcher, so I guess that was his position coming into the league. That's just what he was good at.
Yeah, that's what he played. And I mean, if that's what the guy's outlook on his career was as a catcher, it's like, okay, now you're telling me his best year of stats, you're still saying he doesn't deserve some sort of a farewell tour. Because when he was a catcher, he was MVP batting champ the same year. He bat
347.
Yeah, 347. It was him and Ichiro at the time. I think they were battling for it, and I don't know. I just didn't understand. I didn't really care to argue with the guy, but it's whatever. He had his opinion. He was older. I guess he's been around longer than us. So
you're right. I mean, you could absolutely be right.
And I'm sure he saw Molitor play, and he was probably he was like Molitor's a Minnesota Cretin guy too. So he has well over 3,000 hits.
Right. Maybe the expectation was just higher.
Really high. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's our take on the Twins for this year. We'll see how it goes. I don't have the highest of hopes, but like I said, we'll see. So we'll move on to talking just briefly about the NFL, some scandals, the Jameis thing. I just asked him before we started recording this what actually happened. Someone said that a few people came into work too and told me what happened. He groped a Uber driver
back in 2016.
Yeah. I thought this happened this summer. Okay, well, so this just came up. So when the crab legs were right after the crab legs, or what?
I think the crab legs.
He came out of Florida State in 2015. Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the crab legs was around that time, a year before, maybe even.
Okay.
But I think that's where my opinion changes on it, is because it came out. If it would have happened last weekend,
I would have been
right.
Are you kidding? Can you hurry this? Stop doing this stuff.
Right. No, if it would have been a thing that happened last weekend in the light of the NFL season coming up, I think I'd feel a little differently about it.
Yeah.
But when I heard it was in 2016, it's kind of hard, in my opinion at least, to judge somebody. Because, I think he has made strides, and I think...
he's only 20 when this happened.
Right, I was going to say, he's 24 right now.
Yeah.
And he is a good quarterback. He's, in my opinion, statistically, he's a very good quarterback.
Yeah.
That team, I always just think that team's going to be 10-6.
Last year, I thought they were going to be 11-5.
Right,
was like, they got to be
like
good.
The Bucks, right?
It's his third year. They have Evans. They have a good defense. They have what's his face? I forgot his name, but he's really good.
Doug Martin's still there, running back.
I thought it was Cadillac.
You thought it was Carnell Cadillac Williams?
Cadillac Williams.
I think John Lynch is still on the defense too.
Yeah, he might be.
Yeah, and Tiki. Or no, Rondé.
Rondé. It's Rondé. No, but last year I pay attention to the NFC way more just because the Vikes are in the NFC, and the NFC South, my dad's from North Carolina, so the Panthers are in that division. And I was like, I think the Bucks, and I think it was going to be the Bucks and the Saints. Yeah. Because the Panthers were so bad 2 years ago that I was like, I don't think that's going to happen. But it ended up being almost opposite. Saints won that division. And the Panthers got second. And then who else is in that division? The Falcons might have won the division.
I was going to say, pretty sure the Falcons won the division. The Falcons and the Saints, regardless, were the two teams that made the playoffs.
Yep.
And the Bucks, once again, were, I think,
last,
7-9, 6-10, something like that, maybe.
They fell really bad.
I was going to say, I thought I even saw, because they destroyed Chicago Bears, who I'm a fan of, in, like, week 2, and I was like, okay, this team might be really good.
Yeah.
And I can't pay attention to the AFC anymore, just because I'm always in the belief that the Patriots are going to come out of it as long as TB12's in the league.
Which has been correct for the past 3 years. He's been in a Super Bowl the past 3 years, right? No. Last year he went. Year before they won. Year before that was that the Broncos? Panthers?
That sounds right.
I think that's correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the whole Jameis thing. I don't know. Coming out of the draft, like him and Mariota, I did not like Mariota just because I just didn't care for him. And I loved Jameis. I was like, he's gonna be good, and I think he's gonna be. As weird as it sounds, I think it's going to be Culpepper-esque, but a lot better and more consistent. But we'll see how it goes. This year is kind of a huge year for him because it's his 4th year in the league. He's got
a 3-game suspension that I'm assuming he can appeal, and I think it'll go down to maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I think the NFL seems to take a game off.
Yeah,
in most situations.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll move to more of the NFC North. Paul Allen-esque radio.
Yeah.
So the Bears made some moves this year. They got what's-his-face from the Jaguars.
Allen Robinson.
So that's a good pickup for Trubisky. I like Trubisky personally just because he's a Tar Heel, and I like the Tar Heels. Also like the Gophers, but my dad being from Carolina, I kind of became accustomed to that. But I saw some things they were just like, yeah, he's a good quarterback. It's like he had historically one of the worst wide receiving corps in the NFL history. It's like, and now you bring in Allen Robinson and then
Taylor Gabriel.
Yep, and then do they have like a whole new receiving corps?
They have Gabriel. They have Allen Robinson, and Kevin White is on his kind of last leg.
Literally.
Yeah, figuratively and literally, but he's kind of on his last go with the Bears. They denied his 5th-year option, but they're gonna see if he can pull something together. And they got a new tight end who had the flea flicker play in the Super Bowl, I think. Trey Burton. He's the one that threw the passing touchdown to Foles.
Foles?
Yep.
Okay.
So wide receiving core-wise, he's definitely has a lot more. Could take the top off the defense, can turn and burn, and throw some deep balls. So yeah. I definitely think that the offense will open up, which will give more opportunity too for Jordan Howard.
Yeah, who's a underrated running back. I'm not a Bears fan, but when he came in for Forte that 1 year, he was pretty good. He was a rookie that year, right?
Yeah, that kind of gave everybody assurance that it was okay that Forte left.
And Bears drafted what's-his-face from Georgia as well, right?
Roquan.
Defensive.
Smith.
Is he defensive? D-end? Linebacker?
I think he's like a D-end
stand-up linebacker, like a Clay Matthews.
Yep.
Or what's-his-face from the Broncos?
Vaughn?
Huh?
Von Miller?
Yeah, Von Miller.
Yeah.
So the Bears, I said the Bears will be